Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're going to be talking about how to see strength of planets in your birth chart. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. To be notified whenever I put out a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Alright, so with strength of planets, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because it's not really emphasized enough from what I've seen on YouTube, just, when I was learning astrology. It's just not really talked about that much, and it really does need to be emphasized, because especially when you're looking at someone's planetary time periods, it's very important. Either Vimshotri or Yogini Dasha in particular. So, we're going to dig into this, and we're going to start off with Sun. So, first off, exaltation and debilitation. Now, most people know these concepts who are digging into astrology, but Sun's exalted in Aries and debilitated in Libra. Now, what does exaltation and debilitation mean? Well, exaltation means strong. Debilitated means weak. But just because a planet's strong or weak doesn't mean it's good in every area of life. For instance, Sun's exalted in Aries. A person with exalted Sun, yeah, they can be a good leader, but they can also be egotistical. So, but that's not really, the focus of this video. I just wanted to put that up front. So, Sun's exalted in Aries, debilitated in Libra. But it is also very strong in Leo. Not as strong as when it's in Aries, but still very strong. That's because planets in their own signs are also very strong. Now, another concept is Virgotama. So, Virgotama is when a planet is in the same sign in the birth chart and in the Navamsa chart, the D9. But not just there. Also in other divisional charts. Although in other divisional charts, it's in that particular area of life. For instance, if you have Sun in, let's say, Leo, in the birth chart and in the Navamsa chart, it's Virgotama, so it's very strong. But if it's in a different sign in, say, the D10, the Dashamsha, your career chart, then it's just okay when it comes to career. It's not great. But let's say it's in Leo in the birth chart. In the Navamsha, it's in, Virgo. But then, in the D10, it's in Leo again. So that means it's Virgotama when it comes to your career. When it comes to your career, your Sun in particular is strong. Okay. Now, the other thing we need to talk about is directional strength. Now, me personally, I prefer directional strength to exaltation. I think exalted planets have a fair bit of negatives, but directional strength is almost always good. So, directional strength is when a planet is in the house where it does best, essentially. Now, there are negatives for two of these in particular, but for Sun, it has directional strength in the 10th house and is weak in the 4th house. It's directionless. Now, why is this? Well, Sun in the 10th house. 10th house is government, leadership, management. So, Sun has strength there. The king is on the throne, leading his kingdom. But put Sun in the 4th house, and now you have a tyrant in the home. Overbearing. So that's why Sun is strong in the 10th, weak in the 4th. Now, this only applies in the birth chart. Directional strength doesn't apply in divisional charts, because it's just looking at where the actual planet is when you're born. It's not looking at, deeper layers of strength. All right, so that's Sun. Now let's talk about Moon. So Moon is exalted in Taurus, debilitated in Scorpio. So strong in Taurus, weak in Scorpio. And it's in its own sign in Cancer. But one thing I want to clarify here is Moon also considers Taurus its own sign as well. Taurus is its multicone sign, its original sign. Think of Cancer as like Moon's office. But it is exalted in Taurus. Cancer is secondary when it comes to strength. Okay. Now, directional strength. Moon has directional strength in the 4th house and is directionless in the 10th. Okay. So, why is this? Well, Moon is your mind and emotions. So, your mind and emotions have comfort and happiness when they're in the 4th house. But the 10th house is the most visible house. Now your mind and emotions are on display for everyone to see. You're emotional when it comes to your work. That's often not considered a good thing. So that's why Moon is directionless in the 10th house. Now let's talk about Mercury. So Mercury is exalted in the sign of Virgo, which is also its multicone sign, its original sign, its home. It's debilitated in Pisces. And it's in its own sign in Gemini. Okay. So, strong in Virgo and Gemini, to a lesser degree, weak in Pisces. Now, directional strength. Mercury has directional strength in the 1st house and is directionless in the 7th house. So, why does Mercury have directional strength in the 1st house? Well, 1st house, see, Mercury is your intellect, your analytical intelligence, your earthly intelligence. In the 1st house, Mercury is showing you're intelligent on your own merits. But when it's in the 7th house, your intelligence is derived from other people. You're no longer the one in control of your intelligence. Other people are telling you what to do. Other people have to teach you when it's in the 7th house. So that's why Mercury becomes directionless in the 7th house. Now, let's talk about Venus. Venus is exalted in Pisces and debilitated in Virgo. But when it comes to Venus's signs, Venus rules 2 signs. Just like Mercury. Except it's not exalted in its own sign like Mercury. Now, Libra is Venus's home. So it's stronger in Libra. And then Taurus. Taurus is Venus's office. So, Libra, it's stronger. Taurus, it's a little weaker, but still strong. Now, directional strength for Venus. Venus has directional strength in the 4th house. And is directionless in the 10th. So, directional strength in the 4th house. Venus is pleasure. Venus is wealth. Now, all of that is derived from your home. When Venus is in the 4th house, Venus is luxury. You feel luxurious at home. But there is a negative with this. Venus in the 4th house isn't particularly good for relationships and marriage. So this is one of the planets where its directional strength isn't always great. Now, why is Venus directionless in the 10th? Well, now you're married to your job more than you are to your spouse. You feel luxurious in your career, but not so much at home. That's why Venus is directionless in the 10th. Okay, now let's talk about Mars. So Mars is exalted in Capricorn and debilitated in Cancer. Now, Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Aries is its home, so it's stronger in Aries. And then Scorpio. Scorpio is its office. So it's not as strong when it's in Scorpio, but still strong. But remember, exaltation is even higher. So Mars is better in Capricorn than it is in Aries. Now, directional strength. Mars has directional strength in the 10th house and is directionless in the 4th house. Now, why? Well, 10th house is your career, your status. It's the battlefield. Mars is a soldier. You want the soldier on the battlefield, doing his job. Now, you put the soldier, in the 4th house, at home. Well, now you have, a soldier that's been through a bunch of shit and has PTSD. And has trouble, controlling himself. Taking out his anger on everyone in the homeland. Everyone at home. That's why Mars is directionless in the 4th house. Now, Jupiter. Jupiter is interesting. Because Jupiter acts exalted in 2 different signs. So, first, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. But the other sign Jupiter acts exalted in is Aquarius. Now, for those that haven't heard of this, I'm going to explain this one. So, Cancer is the original 4th house. Cancer is emotional. So, when Jupiter is in Cancer, you share your wisdom with the people that are close to you in your home or your close students. But Jupiter in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of society. Aquarius is represented by an old man pouring wisdom and water out of the vase. Teaching the masses with experience. Aquarius is both an air and a water sign. It's both. So, Jupiter in Cancer cares for the few. Jupiter in Aquarius cares for and teaches the many. This is why Jupiter is also exalted in Aquarius. Now, Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn. Now, Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. Sagittarius is its home. Pisces is its office. So, stronger in Sagittarius, weaker but still strong in Pisces. Now, directional strength for Jupiter. Jupiter has directional strength in the 1st house, and it's directionless in the 7th house. So, Jupiter has directional strength in the 1st house because Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is spiritual intellect, you could say. So, now your wisdom is innate. You have wisdom from birth. You are naturally wise. Jupiter in the 7th house, though. Your wisdom comes from dealing with others. You no longer have it yourself. You need others to provide that for you. That's why Jupiter is directionless in the 7th house. Oh, I do want to mention a small note that I forgot. Mars is another one where I need to mention it not being so great with its directional strength. There is a negative to it. So let me mention this real quick before I forget. So Mars has directional strength in the 10th house. Here's the issue. If you are attracted to men, Mars in the 10th shows that your partner is more focused on their work than they are you. Now, some people may be okay with that, but that's why Mars has a bit of a negative to it. Okay, now on to Saturn. So, Saturn is exalted in Libra and debilitated in Aries. Now, Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. Aquarius is its home, Capricorn's its office. So, stronger in Aquarius, still strong, but not as strong in Capricorn. Now, directional strength for Saturn. Saturn has directional strength in the 7th house and is directionless in the 1st house. Now, why? Well, 7th house is the masses. It's society at large. Saturn's a servant. So in the 7th house, a person serves society, serves the masses, cares more about others than themselves. Saturn in the 1st house, though, can be self-serving. Not only that, Saturn in the 1st house can show health issues. You're now putting a frail old man in the 1st house of the body. So your body will be like that of a frail old man. So that's why Saturn's directionless in the 1st house. Now let's talk about Rahu and Ketu. So there's a lot of debate on where they're exalted, where they're debilitated. Here's the thing. That doesn't really matter. That's not where you see the true strength of Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu, nearly everything about them depends on their dispositor. The lord of the sign that they're in. That's the planet that you need to look at for whether or not it's strong. So, let's say Rahu's in Cancer. Well, you gotta see, is Moon strong? What sign is Moon in? Is Moon in Taurus, exalted? Then Rahu will act like an exalted Moon. Is Moon in Cancer itself, conjunct Rahu? Then Rahu's strong. Same thing with Ketu. So for another example, let's say Rahu's in Pisces. Okay, so now we gotta look at Jupiter. Is Jupiter in Pisces? Is it in Sagittarius? Is it in Aquarius or Cancer? If so, it's strong. If it's in another sign, besides Capricorn, it would be neutral. But in Capricorn, it's weak. Now, like I said, same thing with Ketu. You just look at the lord of their sign to see whether or not they're strong. But yeah, so that's what I have for all of you. I just wanted to go over this because a lot of people, don't really emphasize how important strength of planets is. Or it's like they'll, have it divided up a lot of different places. I wanted to do all of this in one video. That way, y'all can always just come back to this whenever you're unsure about whether a planet is going to give strong results or weak results in your chart. And we'll talk about how to use strength of planets when I eventually talk about dashas. But if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. really helps out me and the channel. And to be notified whenever I put out a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.